Good morning, guys. Cold morning here, but I figured I'd share something with y'all. God, I get this message all the time. How are tar amps? I want to run tar amps, but I heard they're power hungry. Okay. I don't really think any amp's power hungry. And this old rumor, it stems from a lot of things. And the main thing you got to remember is it takes power to make power. Some amps are definitely more efficient than others. And believe it or not, tar amps and just full bridge amps in general are fairly efficient. My little buddy Joe, he was wired on an MD 8K at 0.67 and clamped 9,200 watts out of it. But that was actually good, and that's pretty efficient for what he had. But what you got to remember is back when tar amps first come out, I mean, God, I had seen them. You could buy them almost anywhere, an MD8K for like $300 back in the day. And it's been proven they do power. But with an amp that cheap at the time, you know, that was a huge amp, an 8K. And for $300, you know, every other amp like the Sundown 7Ks and stuff, still at $1,000 or better. A lot of people were buying the MD8K because it was a great budget amp. But, you know, a lot of these people didn't have a battery in the back. They had one battery under the hood. They had one run of 4-gauge copper-clad aluminum wire running from front to back. They put the old 8K in there and it pops. There started the rumor of the amps catching on fire, and then you had, you know, a guy that's like, all right, I'm really going to prepare for this. He went out and bought 2 AGM batteries, put in the back, had one under the hood, stock alternator, a run of 1-aught from front to back, don't matter what kind. And the amp would barely work, and it would probably damn near kill his car every time the bass would hit, if it didn't blow. And then he's like, well, this amp's a power hog or power hungry. I think that's where a lot of this comes from. Because like I said, some amps are more efficient than others. But most time, you got to remember, it takes power to make power. And when you're playing with like an 8K, well, yeah, it's going to take a lot of power. Yeah, they might seem like power hogs, but you're not going to have weak electrical and get 8K out of an amp. It just ain't going to happen. My black Jeep, the one I call the daily driver, even though I drive this one most time, I just love this thing. That thing, I just got a little 3K in it. And it's a full bridge. It ain't tar amps. It's DS18, but I got a little full bridge 3K in it. I went to AutoZone and bought the biggest AGM battery they had. I got 1-aught from front to back, stock alternator, and it ain't enough for the 3K. Maybe if I had a bigger alternator, it would definitely even it out. But I can go full tilt for maybe 15, 20 seconds. And that's if the batteries are full, and it'll drop down quick to 12.9. I don't like going under 12.9 on any amp. So, I mean, that's kind of a good guideline or baseline right there. And it's a big-ass AGM battery I got. Now, I can bump the system in it, I just can't go full tilt. But, yeah, an amplifier, I mean, like I said, some are inefficient, or some are more efficient than others. But at the end of the day, it takes power to make power. You're just not going to have a weak electrical system and throw like a smart 5K in there and expect it to do good. It's going to seem power hungry because it's trying to make power and it just can't do it because you don't have enough power going to it. I had 4 MD8Ks in here, and I didn't deem them as being power hungry at all. They did really good. When I went to the big Korean amps, yes, these amps are more efficient. They seem like they're easier on my electrical for a little more output, but that would just be an efficiency thing. Maybe they do sound a little cleaner. I don't think Tar amps sound dirty at all if you got everything adjusted right. But for the most part, I think all amplifiers in the future will be going full bridge. So we might as well get used to that. But the only difference I really noticed between running the MD8Ks and these DS18 HKOs is I got more power out of these, and the lows sound a little better. They seem to have a little better filtering for the lows. But could I play lows with the Tar amps all day long? I mean, they played 18 hertz just fine. Chris Kyle, he's running, I think, 3 bass 30Ks and all day long. They call him Mr. 15 hertz. They call him that for a reason. But I don't want to make this just about full bridge amps, but the question was, are Tar amps power hungry? Nah, not really, guys. Takes power to make power. You know, I think anytime you get up into like 5K or better, you really need to have lithium. I just don't see AGM batteries being enough to do the job. For one, they charge slow as hell. Even if you got a ton of them in the back, it's going to take forever to charge them bad boys up because they do not like to charge like lithium. And they go dead so quick. If you got a lot of power on them, they die fast. They don't like giving up the power like a lithium battery does. A lithium battery, it's just like, you want power? Here it is. All right, you turn this down, we're just going to charge right back up. They charge so fast, they get rid of power so fast. It's just the way to go. But once you get a good lithium bank and a couple alternators, or you're charging, your whole electrical is on point, no amplifier is going to seem like a power hog at that point. Like I said, I saw a little difference between the Tar amps 8Ks and the Korean 8Ks. But it's a minute difference. I mean, I got a little more power, and they do work a little better. But at the end of the day, I hope this helps somebody. I hope I answer some questions. But, yeah, that's all for today. Peace out, guys. And as always, bass on.